Hi guys, it's Margaret from Outer Beauty. Today I'm going to tint and laminate my brows and clean them up a little bit. So I wanted to show you how I do it. I have a full face of makeup on right now, which most days I don't, but this is the situation in which I would fill in my brows. Normally, day-to-day life, I don't really need to, but I'm going to tint them today just so I don't ever have to fill them in, even when I do makeup. And then I'm also going to laminate them just because why not? So these are my brows right now. It's been about a year since I had my last touch-up for my ombre brows, but my hair is pretty light. So I use the Townsend tint, and then I also use the elleebana brow lamination. So I start with lamination and then I tint them and then I'll clean them up. So we're gonna start with lamination first. I'm just gonna wipe off my brows to make sure that there's no makeup on them. I'm just using this Dermalogica toner with a little SD wipe. Okay, so my brow hairs are pretty long, which is great for lamination. So we're gonna start with the elleebana lamination. Usually at work I'll wear gloves, just because with permanent makeup I'm just such in the habit of wearing gloves, so I do even for most aesthetic services. But since I'm not wearing gloves, I'm just gonna put some plastic wrap on the back of my hand so that I can open this and pour it on my hand. I just realized I don't have my timers, but I left my timers at work, but it's okay. So I just cut open number one and I'm just gonna squeeze it out on my hand. I like to squeeze out the whole product before, just so I am sure that I'm doing 50-50 on each brow. Okay, so I'm gonna just take a little doe foot lip brush and I split about half of the product, and then I'm just going to put this all over my brows. So I let solution number one sit for a minute, and then after that I will remove the saran wrap and just brush my hairs into place, and then I will put the saran wrap back on for another 5 minutes. I saw this little tip on someone's training video, and just after a minute the hair is more flexible, so it's easier to brush into shape. So I really like doing it this way. I'll try to list the video below if I can find it. Then after 5 more minutes, I will wipe off solution number one and start putting solution number two on. To keep things sanitary and so we don't mix solutions, I do use a new doe foot applicator and saran wrap on my hands and my brows for each solution. And after I get all my brow hairs in place, we're gonna let that sit for another 6 minutes, and I'm gonna mix up my tint. It's the Townsend tint. I use 75% light brown and 25% reddish brown on me. The reddish brown on its own is way too red for my liking. I like my brows a little bit more neutral. And now that the 6 minutes is up, I'm gonna wipe off the solution. Be sure you get all the lamination solution off your brows. I used an SD wipe and Q-tips, just be sure everything is off. And at this point, I realized I gave myself a bald spot the other day, so that's super cute. At least we're doing lamination, so we can kind of cover it up, but now we're gonna start tinting. I start at the tails because that's what I want the darkest. This is the Townsend brush. It's pretty good, but I'm still experimenting to kind of find out what my favorite tool to apply tint is. You guys should leave me a comment down below and let me know what your favorite tool is. My shape is super easy for me to fill in because I have ombre brows, so I have my guideline. The lamination makes them a little bit bigger, but I still kind of keep with my same tattoo shape. I use a Q-tip to clean up along the way to make the edges crisp, and I leave this on for 6 or 7 minutes as well. And now I'm just gonna check it with a Q-tip to make sure it's done. And when I see that it's done, then I'll remove it all with an SD wipe. And I just use a couple SD wipes and wipe it all off. And now I'm just brushing my hairs into place. This bald spot was killing me, but whatever. This is the point where I just go crazy messing with the shape, making it perfect. I do this on clients too, like, don't worry. Now we're gonna start cleanup. Since my brows are in the shape I want them, I have a better idea on what hairs to trim and what hairs to remove. I typically don't wax after lamination just because the skin is a little bit more sensitive, so I try to only use my tweezer and scissors. If there are a lot of little hairs, then I will use wax. I only use hard wax and I use mermaid wax, so it's pretty gentle. I wouldn't use soft wax, I would only use hard wax, and I only use it like once or twice. So I'm not doing the whole brow, and I tweeze where I can. Waxing really just saves time and it's less painful if they have a big patch of hair. This color is way warmer than what it turns to be in like a few days. So I'm a Fitz 1. If you're familiar with the Fitzpatrick scale 1 through 6, the more extreme Fitzpatricks tend to heal cool. So Fitz 1 and 6. Everything pulls cool on me. Permanent makeup, tinting, if I were to dye my hair, all that would pull cool on me. So that's why I do a little bit warmer. They look crazy, but at the end I'll attach a video of what they look like now. It's been like 2 weeks since I tinted them. They're not laminated at the time that I'm editing this, but now that my brows are trimmed and in the shape that I want them, I can kind of see where I want it to be a little bit darker. So this is when I go back in with more tint. I basically just put it on and then wipe it off. It doesn't need to sit for that long, so I'll just put it on both brows and then grab a Q-tip and wipe it off. If I mess up my shape, I can use the Q-tip to kind of push the hairs back where I want them to be. And then I use my brush just to brush them out. Spend literally another 5 minutes doing this. Here are my brows all brushed out. They do look crazy the first like day or two, but then they do calm down, and I'm inserting some footage here of what my brows look like 2 weeks after they were tinted. They're not laminated here. They're just tinted and they match my hair perfectly. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions, any video requests. Like the video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you later. Bye.